Hi everyone, it's Oksana. In this video I'm going to teach you how to make this basic little pendant. It uses a tiny little round stone. So this is kind of a plasticky rhinestone kind of thing, but you can use a real stone, and this is a great way to secure something that's really small, but also a basic way that uses very minimal amount of wire. So it's just kind of a quick and easy way. Like you can do this for earrings, or you can make something like this that dangles from the bottom of like another pendant. So if you just have a small little stone, just a nice way to secure it. So if you want to see how to make this little dangly charm, then just keep watching. So the wire that I'm going to be using is 20 gauge round wire from Rio Grande, and ooh, all my pliers just fell. I'm just going to trim myself a piece of this, and then I'll go ahead and measure that for you guys. Let me zoom out a little bit. Alright, so this little piece ended up being, let's see how long, 6.5 inches long, which is a little more than you need, but I don't know the size stone that you're going to be using, and mine is quite little, so this is probably enough for me. But my stone is about 15 millimeters, and this is just a cheap little plastic, like, I don't know if you'd call this maybe like a rhinestone. But I just have a bunch of these. I don't even know where I got them from, like a craft store, and my daughter and I were doing this design together, so she was learning, and this is a good one for that. So what we're gonna do is take this little wire, we're gonna bend it in half, forming this little loop up top. Now hold your stone kind of on top of that little crisscross to make sure that that loop is big enough and that it sticks out the top like that. All right, and then what you want to do is crisscross this and just do a little twist like that. So the next step is to hammer this little loop. That's going to be difficult for me to do in the air, but I'll just show you what I use. You don't have to do this, but this just makes it a lot stronger since we're using a thin little wire. I am going to go ahead and hammer the little loop, but you can leave it as is. It'll just be a little floppier. Actually, I am going to try and do it in the air, so I'm going to probably get rid of the sound because it's going to be quite loud, but I'm just going to hammer this. All right, and now I'm going to use the other side of the hammer. And that just adds texture. So then we want to just take this little rhinestone thingy and just put it right on top. So let me show you from the back what that looks like this. If you want, you can do it from the back. Sometimes it's easier to see if it's centered nicely by looking at the back rather than the front. Sometimes it looks nice from the front and then you flip it and it's like all crooked or something. So I'm bending these wires onto the front, just bending them. And then here in the front, here they are, they got bent forward and they're forming kind of a crisscross situation there, which is good. We want them to do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with the crisscross by bringing this wire all the way around and all the way. All right, so all that's left to do is to make a loop with these wires just to attach them to this bail. So if you cut and leave yourself a little wire end, you can then grab this little wire end and you can close up. Basically, it's like a little loop that we're forming here. See it coming out here on this side? That little end. You want to just grab it and you're closing up the loop, so you can kind of see the loop from this angle. And now closing it. Loop is closed, the wire end is tucked away. Same thing here on this side, just turn it inwards with your pliers. And then from the front, close the loop. All right, so now we're just gonna make, I'm just trying to fix this a little bit, but the bumpy surface isn't letting me because it looks a little bit like this wire needs to be straighter. All right, so now we're just gonna make like a little dangle bail for this. So to do that, I'm just grabbing one little piece of my round wire here, just a small little piece. And this one is like 47 millimeters. Doesn't have to be perfect. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna find roughly the middle of it. We're gonna bend it in half. And then we're gonna squish this middle in between our pliers to make it have a tight squeeze there. I'm just gonna try and kind of squish it all the way down so it stays together. All right, so see how it's not perfect anyways? It's impossible to bend it like super perfectly in half. So that's why if it's off by a few millimeters, it doesn't matter, because what we do now is we just trim so that the ends are perfect. And now, I really like using my bail making pliers for this, but you can use your round nose pliers. You just want to pick, I like to use this end here because that's big enough if I make a loop with it. So I'm just grabbing the other end, not the two little wire ends, but the end that we squished. Making a little loop by bending it around. So you could do that with your round nose pliers as well. This is going to be for our cord necklace to go through. And then the other end, grabbing that, making a smaller one. This one I'm not going to close all the way. I'm going to leave a little gap that I'll close later with my pliers because I want to be able to put the pendant onto this hook. All right, so then your pendant goes onto this hook, and then you can take and close that up. Might have to do it once on each side because the two wires, they don't sometimes want to behave at the same time. All right, closed up, not gonna fall off. And we have our little dangly charm kind of pendant. So this is a great way if you have a small little round stone. It doesn't have to be round, but it works really good with little round shaped stones. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Here's what the back looks like. Thanks. Bye.